Hey there you guys, welcome back. Well, it's when I'm filming this video, it is the last day of September, so what is it, September 30th, 31st? I don't know. But you guys are going to see this in October, which is crazy. This will be the last garden tour of the season because everything's going to be moving inside. And I actually have started to do that already. Nighttime temperatures are getting down pretty low. Not super low, but around 10 degrees, 11 degrees Celsius, so still around 50 Fahrenheit. So yeah, it's dipping down for some of those cooler hating plants, the more tropical things. So I've taken a lot of the house plants and things inside, but as you can see, we've got the Brugmansia in the back. This one's actually going to die in the wintertime. I'm going to leave it out. I took some cuttings from that one, and yeah, let's wander about and see what's happening, and let's take you inside as well to see what the grow space is looking like now. It's getting pretty full, but it's going to get even more full because some of the big tropicals are going to be coming in. You'll see that the space in the center of the floor is empty. That's going to be jam-packed. So anyway, let's just get to it. Let's look at some plants. So here is the big Brugmansia. I don't know, it's probably 8 feet tall, 9 feet tall. Yeah, probably closer to 9 feet. And it's loaded with flowers. As you can see, it doesn't smell. They're supposed to smell in the evening. They're supposed to be really lovely fragrance. But every time I've come out here, there's no fragrance to it. It has in the past, but maybe it's just really late in the season. I think it might need the humidity to help spread the fragrance. So it's looking nice. I'm sad that I'm going to let this one die, but this one has done well for me. It actually flowers really late. I wish it flowered more in the summertime, but it only produces buds that last in the fall. So there's that. The elephant ears and the bananas are doing really well now. It's too bad that they're going to be coming inside. They are about 7 feet tall right now. They're taller than me. So they're around 7 feet, and that's in the ground. If they were in pots, they would look even bigger. This elephant ear is doing amazing. I would say that this is at maybe 5 feet tall, maybe 5.5 feet tall. As you can see, the leaves are getting really big. That one I'm going to cut down. I'm going to store that one completely dormant. That one's the Jack's Giant, and the ice cream banana is doing nice. So I think that this one I'm going to be storing. I'm going to cut all the leaves off. I'm going to tip it upside down. Maybe we'll do that together. And I'm going to try to store it dry. Usually I try to keep them in pots. So I've got another one in the front that I'm going to store. I'm going to store it as just growing live under the lights. So at least if my test doesn't work, I'm not going to kill all of my plants. This is supposed to be the hardy pink China colocasia, so I'm excited. This one got really nice and big this year. Super excited about that one. That one's supposed to be winter hardy here to zone 6B, so we'll see how that works out. There was a note to keep it covered, so I'm going to get a container, like a rose cone or something, to go over top of it to keep it more on the dry side around where the bulbs are sprouting, and hopefully keeping the little bit of moisture off the tops will stop the rot. So we'll see. This one's an experiment. Super excited to see if that one grows through. Alright, and then we've got the tower garden here. Tower garden is looking sad. It's looking like it's seen better days, but nighttime temperatures are going down. We've got all kinds of habaneros that are getting ripe. The peppers are doing amazing. Habaneros are doing good. The konjaks, the Amorphophallus konjaks, are doing nicely up in the top. Those will have to come in very soon. But the peppers did so well. I really want to grow more peppers next year. Really had a lot of fun with those. Another fun thing is this is my big Sansevieria masoniana, and it's got a new growth down at the bottom, so super excited to see that. Usually around this time of year it puts out its new growth. But it's usually not outside, so I want to see how that starts. My fernwood Sansevieria is starting to put out some larger size leaves. That's super nice. And this starfish, sorry for the shakiness, I almost dropped the camera. This starfish Sansevieria, maybe it's bone cell, I think, as well as what it's called, has a couple of seeds being produced, so I wonder if those will be viable. I'll keep those on until they dry up, and then we'll try planting those. But the leaves that developed during the summertime outside are nice and strong and sturdy, whereas these ones that were inside got a little bit longer, more elongated, and not as bulky, but still very impressive. We've dug out our gardens, so next weekend, when I upload this video, we should be filling these with soil. So this will be exciting. I can't wait to plant some things in here. I've got a couple of iris that I'm going to put in here. Just a few of the perennials from the front that I didn't want there. It stays a little bit more dry here than at the edge of the garden here. It stays very wet over here, but more dry over here. So it's going to allow me to grow some different plants. So this garden, there's going to be a hosta in this section here. I'm going to buy something, a little shrub that gets to maybe 10 feet tall that goes right here in the corner. But if I don't find anything, I'll definitely put an elephant ear or a banana or something in that corner. So most of the plants are inside, except for the big tropicals. Big tropicals, like I said, are going to be coming inside for probably next weekend. Off to the side of the house. Here is the, as we look through the little jail, should have done this from the other side, the carnivorous plants of Sansevierias are looking really, really nice from Brad's greenhouses. They've started to develop a few new growths, which is stupendous. I love it. Soon this is going to be coming in for the winter, or into the garage for the winter. It's going to be kept near the front of the garage, so it still does have the potential to freeze, but it's not going to get as cold as it does outside. So it should be fine. The Sansevierias should be fine, or not the Sansevierias, the Sarracenias should be fine, but the Venus flytrap, that's what I'm worried about. But I will keep it in a little bit of a bowl of water, like it already has. I'll just make sure that that stays a little bit moist. The passion flower has all kinds of fruits all over it. I'm going to be trying to bring this in next weekend and put it under some lights. There's probably 8 or 10 fruits on here. They're just all over the place. We had a lot of bees, so all the bees would come in and pollinate before the flowers really opened. So I didn't really enjoy too many flowers on this. They would start to open, and then before they got fully open, they'd close back up because they got pollinated already. Thanks a lot, bees. So let's go to the side of the house. We got this lovely spider web. I think it's a wolf spider, right attached to the little door pole. Eek. Okay, so many things got ripped out here. The dahlias I pruned them back because they were falling over into the fence and they were starting to get powdery mildew, so I won't actually dig them out until we get a nice killing frost, but I cut them way, way back. So I took all the good blooms and I put them in a vase inside. Might as well utilize them. So the plumeria is also going to be coming in next weekend. I should have pulled them in this weekend because there's going to be some nights that go down to around 7 Celsius. They don't like to be below 10, but they're going to have to deal. I've had them in weather like that before, and they did okay. Obviously they don't like it, but they will survive it. And then I will cut off the leaves on most of them and store them dry. But I think I'm going to take 1 or 2 if there's space and try to grow them through because I really want to have flowers. These guys are about 4.5 feet tall now. Not all of them, but most of them. And this one, I don't know if you're able to see, but do you see all the branching in there? This is going to be such a bushy plant. I don't know, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 or 6 branches that I see so far growing on this thing. It's doing really, really well. I don't want to see branches, I want to see inflows. I want to see those flower spikes. So I've stopped fertilizing for now. When I bring them inside and I see which ones are going to go under the grow lights, then I'll start feeding them at that point. But I don't want them all to keep growing. I want them kind of to go a little bit dormant while they're still outside. So I'm trying to keep them on the dry side. Yesterday I gave things a little bit of a drink because they were really dry, but all in all, I want them to stay dry. Alright. Soon we'll have to get rid of put that in the shed, the water barrel. Over here, this is where the tomato was, and I've got garlic that I planted in the early spring, or not, late spring, early summer. It's growing up. I'm not going to do anything with the garlic this season. I'm just going to let it be, and hopefully next season it starts to grow. And also next season I want this garden to go all the way across to go right to the fence. I'm going to plant most of the stuff along the fence, and I'm just going to have penny pavers going through, meandering, so I can walk around things, because when I grew everything near the house, everything flopped over towards the fence because that's where the sun is. So everything grew this way. So if I grow them closer to the fence, I should be able to have a nice path right next to the house. And also I can tie things up to the fence. I don't know why I thought that growing them next to the house would be better. Alright, so we're coming into the front yard now. The passion flower is doing good that I grew from seed, but no flowers. I'm going to chop this guy back, and in the coming weeks I'm going to plant the pot right into the garden, and hopefully it is a root hardy one, so hopefully it will grow and survive till next season and grow on next year. So we'll see how that goes. I don't want to plant it directly in the garden because if it's root hardy and I hear it's invasive or can be invasive in my zone, I don't want to take that chance. So it's going to stay in a contained environment. So here we are in the front. After I started watering things more, the dogwood started growing better, and it got really confused. I think it thought it was spring, so it started to produce some flowers. So I won't be surprised if next spring I don't see any flowers because it produced its buds this year. So the new leaves that came out didn't get scorched as bad. I just need to pay attention. Maybe I need to put some water retentive crystals or something down in here so that it holds a little bit more moisture. But in the springtime it's very wet. In the summertime the clay dries out like concrete, so it's hard to know what to do. Just amend the soil, I guess. So as you can see, I've ripped out a lot of the stuff. I'm going to be taking the hosta that's behind the dogwood, and it's going to go to the front. I've cut all the leaves off. I'm taking the peony to the back as well. I'm unsure about this hibiscus. I might leave it in the front, but it might also get moved to the back. I don't like how it's growing this year, but I can't hold it to this form because it got crushed twice by chairs blowing off of the patio, so in high winds. So it's not its fault that it's like this. So we'll see what it looks like next year, and if it's still unruly, I will move it to the back. This bastard balm looks so pretty in the springtime, but it looks terrible in the fall. So this is going to get taken into the back as well, and we'll just see what happens. There's a beautiful hibiscus. This is day 2 or day 3 for that bloom, so it's looking a little worse for wear, but it's a variety that seems to have a flower that lasts for a few days. They're much thicker blooms. This Japanese maple is so pretty. I wonder what the fall color is going to be. Hopefully it's going to be more of an orangey color. So these containers, probably next weekend I'll rip them out, and I'm going to keep some of the elephant ears and the bananas obviously, and the hibiscus that are growing in, but all of the annuals are going to get ripped out and make way for fall or winter decor. Want to make some changes here, and this is the fall bed. It's not really a fall bed, but we started doing this late in the season, so I was able to plant it in a fall theme. In the springtime we'll do something a little bit more spring, but right now it's looking really, really nice. The cabbage is growing like crazy, so especially these ones. These ones are growing like little monsters. Soon when we get really, really cold nights, it's going to really bring out the purple and the whites in the cabbage. Right now the nights aren't cold enough, but they're starting to show some color. As you can see, starting to show some colors, but there's still a mix of green. When we get a nice cold night, it's going to switch it over to white, so that'll be really, really cool when that happens. So anyway, this has been the tour of the yard. Not much to see. Things are happening, but they're just everything's going inside. So maybe I'll do the next video. I'll show you what's going on in the basement, because this has been a little bit long. Anyway, until next time, you guys, happy growing.